Christmas, no matter the decade, has always been a season of light, laughter, and memory. But from the 1950s through the 1980s, it wasn't just a holiday. It was a moment in time. Let's take a little trip through the golden glow of Christmas past, from tinsel-draped living rooms to mall Santas and microwavable fruitcakes, to see how 4 decades of holiday joy still live on in our hearts. Part 1. The 1950s, a post-war Christmas dream. The 1950s gave America a brand new kind of Christmas, one built on optimism, prosperity, and a little bit of glitter. Families had new homes in the suburbs, shiny station wagons in the driveway, and TVs glowing in the living room. And when December rolled around, everything sparkled. Tinsel wasn't just decoration, it was an art form. Trees shimmered under bubble lights and aluminum stars. Some families went full futuristic, with aluminum Christmas trees spinning slowly beside color wheels that washed the room in shifting pink, green, and blue. Stockings were handmade or stitched from felt kits, and every child waited for the moment the Sears Wish Book landed in the mail, a doorway to dreams bound in glossy pages. Television became the new holiday hearth. Families gathered for specials like Rudolph, Frosty, and the Ed Sullivan Show's Christmas broadcast, a shared ritual that brought laughter, carols, and sometimes a tear or two. And then there were the smells: cinnamon rolls from the oven, pine needles on the carpet, the faint metallic scent of tinsel. It was a decade of togetherness when the world still felt small, safe, and wrapped neatly with a bow. Part 2. The 1960s, modern, magical, and a little bit groovy. By the 1960s, Christmas was getting a modern makeover. Designs were sleeker, colors bolder, and even Santa seemed to have joined the space age. Department stores turned downtowns into winter wonderlands. Families bundled up to see elaborate window displays, mechanical elves hammering toys, and glowing snow scenes that stopped traffic. Inside, shoppers drifted through aisles of wool coats, perfume counters, and toy trains chugging through fake snow. At home, moms and daughters might wear Christmas corsages, poinsettias, ribbon, and glittery pine cones pinned proudly to sweaters. And every kid knew the magic of opening a Whitman sampler, nibbling the chocolate corners to see what's inside. The music? Oh, it was everywhere. From Nat King Cole's velvet voice to the great songs of Christmas LPs given away by tire companies like Goodyear and Firestone, those records became the soundtrack of the season. You can still hear the gentle crackle of a needle dropping right before the Christmas song begins. Christmas in the 60s was modern, hopeful, and impossibly charming, the perfect mix of tradition and change. If this little trip through Christmas past brought back even one warm memory, maybe the smell of your grandma's cookies or the sound of that scratchy record spinning, you're in the right place. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button. I've got plenty more stories like this one. And if you're on Facebook, come join our cozy corner of nostalgia, where we swap memories, photos, and maybe even a few recipes from those Christmases that still sparkle in our minds. Because remembering the past isn't just about looking back, it's about keeping that magic alive. Part 3. The 1970s, handmade magic and catalog dreams. If the 1950s were polished and the 1960s were modern, the 1970s brought warmth and a whole lot of craft glue. This was the decade of homemade Christmas, when every family room was filled with Busilla felt stockings, crocheted ornaments, and garlands made of paper chains and popcorn. The Christmas tree was often real, sometimes a little lopsided, but always dressed with love. Shiny Breet ornaments shimmered between strings of multicolored lights that blinked on and off with their own unpredictable rhythm. And the candy dishes? They were filled with ribbon candy, sugared jellies, and those hard strawberry candies that no one actually remembered buying. The Sears Wish Book was still a family event, a marathon of red pen circling and big dreaming. Kids flipped through pages of toys like the Snoopy Snow Cone Machine, Stretch Armstrong, and Spirograph, while parents planned gifts from the appliance section. Music floated through the house on those Firestone albums, or from a turntable spinning a Partridge Family Christmas card. And if you looked around, you'd see ceramic Christmas trees glowing on every TV console, their tiny plastic pegs casting soft, colorful light. It was a cozier, craftier kind of Christmas, a little simpler, a little homespun, and full of the kind of memories that still smell faintly of cinnamon and felt. Part 4. The 1980s. Bright lights, big toys, bigger hair. The 1980s, the decade when Christmas went electric. Gone were the paper chains and handmade ornaments. Now it was about neon wrapping paper, battery-powered toys, and TV commercials that felt like mini-movies. If you were a kid in the 80s, you remember it. The feeling of running down the stairs on Christmas morning, heart-pounding, to find Cabbage Patch Kids, Atari consoles, or that shiny new Walkman waiting under the tree. Toy aisles were war zones of excitement, and malls became holiday epicenters, with Santa posing for Polaroids and fountains overflowing with tossed pennies. The sound of Christmas had changed, too. Now it was Wham's Last Christmas, Band-Aid's Do They Know It's Christmas, and Bing Crosby still hanging on the radio right beside them. Even TV joined in, with specials like A Charlie Brown Christmas replaying alongside He-Man and She-Ra, a Christmas special. And who could forget the fashion? Sequined sweaters, velvet dresses, glittery bows. Everyone dressed like Christmas morning was a stage. Tinsel practically matched the hairstyles. But behind all the neon and noise, the heart of the holiday stayed the same. Family, warmth, and that shared sense of wonder that no decade could ever dim. Part 5. The Christmas Spirit that never changes. No matter how much the world changed, from black and white TVs to color, from rotary phones to cordless ones, from cassette tapes to CDs, the spirit of Christmas stayed steady like the glow of a candle that never quite burns out. Every generation added something new, but the feeling remained the same. In the 1950s, it was the scent of fresh pine and the sound of Perry Como on the radio. In the 1960s, it was the soft rustle of wrapping paper under aluminum tree lights that shimmered like tiny stars. By the 1970s, it was handmade stockings, popcorn garlands, and the glow of ceramic Christmas trees casting a kaleidoscope of color across shag carpets. And in the 1980s, it was neon ribbons, glittered sweaters, and the excited hum of a VCR rewinding your favorite Christmas movie again and again. But behind all those little details was something deeper, something timeless. It was the moment the house finally quieted down on Christmas Eve, and you could feel the hush settle in. The kids asleep, the lights twinkling low, and the faint hum of the heater keeping everyone warm. Maybe there was still one present left to wrap, or a plate of cookies half-eaten by a certain visitor. It was peaceful, still, sacred in its own small way. Every decade had its own kind of chaos. Crowded malls, tangled lights, last-minute shopping. But somehow, it always led to that same quiet joy. The kind that didn't come from gifts, but from togetherness, from family packed around a dinner table, passing dishes and stories, from friends stopping by with tins of cookies, from neighbors waving through frosted windows. The truth is, Christmas has never really been about perfection. It's been about presence, about the laughter that fills the gaps between songs, the smell of cinnamon and coffee on a slow morning, and the way time seems to slow down for just one day each year. You see, it's not the aluminum trees or the neon wrapping paper that we remember. It's how it felt, the way the living room looked in that half-light before dawn, the sound of paper tearing, and someone saying thank you in a sleepy voice. The warmth of family. Imperfect, noisy, real. Even now, decades later, we carry those moments with us. They're tucked into old photo albums, stored in the back of closets with tangled lights and faded ornaments. And every time December rolls around, we reach for them, not because we want to go back, but because remembering makes us feel like home. So whether your memories are black and white or broadcast in full 1980s color, whether you remember carolers at the door or Christmas specials on TV, the heart of it all is the same. It's love, wrapped in the glow of memory. It's the warmth of belonging, no matter the year. And it's that unshakable truth that even as the decades change, the magic of Christmas, that feeling that everything is right, even just for a moment, never truly fades. Because Christmas isn't just a day we remember. It's the feeling that reminds us who we are.